Hello, this is Richard Shaw, a business advisor from Odoo, rsh@odoo.com. This video is going to go into a little bit of detail about how to reconcile journal entries with one another. Keep in mind, this will not go into detail about bank statement reconciliation, as there's another video in my channel that has that information for you, and it is very similar to what you'd expect to see in version 12, 11, and 13. All right, so first and foremost, jumping into the accounting module, we're going to focus on customer invoices. The logic that applies to customer invoices also applies to vendor bills, so I assume it is identical. So looking at invoices, we see we have 4 open invoices. We see that with the status on the right. We'll jump into Deco Addicts for the 525. When you validate an invoice, move it from draft stage to open stage, you're going to generate a journal entry based on the accounts receivable on the customer and the income and expense accounts associated to the product here. So as you see, you have product sales. Jumping into other information tab, we look at the journal entry here, journal entry number 3. You will see accounts receivable for 525 being debited. This is the correct account. It's an asset. We want to increase it when a vendor or customer invoice is generated. Now, how do you reconcile a payment with this invoice? Well, Odoo makes it simple. You have a register payment icon up top, the menu item or button. You click that. It will pull the accounts receivable from the customer, the bank account associated with the journal, and this will be essentially what you would expect to see when the journal entry is generated. So clicking validate. Once we validate it, the invoice is now paid. It is therefore reconciled. You can see the payment here for 525. You can open it up and view the transaction. Here it is. Looking at the journal items, you'll see the bank account is correctly debited because we've received cash, and the accounts receivable is correctly credited for the 525. And so now you see a matching number of A12. What does this mean? This means you've essentially reconciled the invoice with the payment. Going to accounting and journal items, we can look at receivable, go to the account, and you'll see A2 and A2 with the customer invoice here being the credit, the debit, and then the vendor or customer payment being the credit. This is a reconciled transaction. Now let's say if we wanted to reconcile another way, a more manual approach. Well, we know with our invoices we have a $750 payment with Deco Addict. So let's register that payment. Go to Payments, create a new payment with Deco Addict. It was $750, and we're receiving this money. So let's confirm this. It's going to generate the journal entry. So we have here the bank account correctly debited for $750 and the accounts receivable correctly credited for $750. How would we want to reconcile these two together without having to register payment? Let's just jump to the invoice very quickly. You'll see Deco Addict 750 is in open status. Now, and you can see Odoo will prompt you to match them because it has the same customer as well as the same accounts receivable associated to the journal entry. So you could simply just add it here. But if let's go a little bit more technical, let's jump to the accounting journal entries, or sorry, journal items. We're going to look up accounts receivable. There it is. Let's look up the customer. Here we go. Now, how do we reconcile here? All we do is check the checkbox next to it. And there's a few requirements. Number 1, they both have to be opposite sides, debit and credit. And number 2, they have to be the same account, accounts receivable, accounts receivable. If they are not the same accounts receivable, maybe the account number is 1 digit off, then it won't allow you to reconcile. Now you click Action and Reconcile Entries. Here you go, reconcile. And this looks very similar to that you'd see on the bank statement reconciliation because it is the identical process. Reconcile, and now you're good to go. Going back to journal items, you'll see now there's an A2 associated to them. That means they're matched together. Looking at the invoices, the Deco Addict 750 is now listed as paid. Now you've reconciled this. Again, there's another video about how to do bank statement reconciliation in full. If you need that, please let me know. It's in my channel. Again, this is Richard Shaw, business advisor from Odoo, RSH at Odoo. Thank you. Have a good one.